Right. So very good morning to everyone and welcome to our meeting. I'm glad to hear that a lot of our attendees today have either attended the Dreamforce 24 virtually or in person. So please feel free to also share your experience. So we started this group, San Ramon Salesforce admin group, started back in 2020, and we've been having monthly meetings mostly in the last Saturday of every month. And please join our chapter. I will post the links in the chat soon, so you can join the chatter group of our user group. We three are the user group leaders, and I am Sheeba. I'm a Salesforce professional since 2018, and I've worked with several Salesforce partners, Salesforce customers, and I have my own nonprofit, currently working with a Salesforce partner. I'll move on. So these are some of the house rules. This meeting is getting recorded and will be published in YouTube. So you can refer it back for all the resources, slide decks, etc., in the YouTube channel, which also I'll post in the chat. You can mute your mics unless you want to ask a question, and you can post your questions in the chat. And you also have a chance to ask questions at the end of the meeting. If you really like some slides or portions of this meeting, please feel free to post screenshots in the Twitter with the handle San Ramon SFDC or in LinkedIn with the same handle. For saving the chat, you can just click on the 3 dots at the end of the chat and you can save the links after the session. So who all are joining from US? How many of the people in the audience are joining? So that's really easy for me. All right. So I assume mostly are from US, some are from India, I believe, as some people introduced. I'll carry on now. And so we have these 5 glowing faces and glowing trailblazers of our Ohana who will share their perspectives of Dreamforce 24 in different streams. So I'll just share. So this is what we saw in the Dreamfest, a beautiful drone show. And as you can see from the slide, Agentforce was the main announcement at Dreamforce this year. And just to share this little clip.
Chatbots to co-pilots to this new Agentforce world, and it's going to know your business, and it can plan, it can reason, it takes action on your behalf. On that idea of working with a large healthcare system at scale, it's scheduling, in our vision, the MRI for you, or the CT scan, or the repeat labs, or your doctor's office visit for you. It's taking care of the drudgery and the low-value tasks that are slowing those doctors and nurses down. And we're going to deliver it across all of our industry clouds in all of the key industries that we support with all of the compliance and governance that you need, whether it's FedRAMP or HIPAA or SOC or whatever it is, so that you get it as you need it and it's ready. We can move from chatbots to co-pilots to this new agent.
So this was a little flavor from Dreamforce itself. And then these are the useful links I've shared. Feel free to go there and see. And there's another share.
It's getting lots of love. Let me show you the new user list view. You now have full control over your user list view. You can filter and inline edit when you need. And it's okay to share. I know you've been asking for this for years. But that's not all. The love just keeps on coming. So we can now describe our public groups and queues with description fields. And speaking of public groups, we now have full transparency over everything associated with a group. This piece is big. User management is getting...
Just share this clip with you because we are an admin group and you can post this meeting. You can go to the Salesforce Plus and see the keynote of admins, and you can see the full format of this. And this was lot of news on Agentforce. So this was another clip which, oh, no. I don't know, this one is maybe not working, but you can build your own agent. And so a lot of agents were built at Dreamforce. So just what I wanted to share. And thank you. So I will now give it over to my esteemed colleague and glowing trailblazer, Michael.
Glowing? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, let me put, yeah, I need to invoke my, should we, which audio? Mute your mic. There we go. How's that? All right. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you guys hear me? Oh, sharing is not turned on.
Huh?
Should I put on my mustache too?
Where's the mustache?
Is that it?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
There. Yeah, a little itchy.
We have some show and tell segments
All
here.
right.
So
That's still not.
we are all dressed as agents,
Yeah.
something that they reinforced. So we just wanted to reinforce in our programming thing as well.
It's still not sharing. I just don't, it won't let me share.
What? Oh, you're sure. Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, I got it. What you mean is I have to.
Allow, you have to allow sharing.
Yeah, let me just make you the co-host.
Okay.
Well, eventually you'll probably have agent avatars, so. we'll have
We
our
were able to
avatars
hear
on board.
you. Steve.
Oh, you probably need to turn the volume up on yours.
Okay, here, I'll just make you co-host.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Can you thumbs up if you can
Okay,
hear
great.
me?
All right, let me see if I can share. Ah, here we go. All right. All right, now can you see my screen? All right. So just wanted to do quick intro who I am, a little bit Dreamforce by the numbers. Going to go over a little bit over a couple of sessions that I watched in terms of business analysis and data cloud. Then I'll go over a little bit about the free AI certifications, Trailblazer community, and then we'll talk about some of the after-hour events, the parties. All right. Okay, so my name is Michael Orias. I've been in the ecosystem since 2010 when I first implemented Salesforce for my wife's nonprofit. I've attended 10 plus Dreamforce conferences. I'm co-leader of the Oakland Salesforce user group with Cynthia Hill and Paolo Sembrano, founder and co-host of Oaktown Dreaming Conference, currently on hiatus, and I currently work as a Salesforce project manager for a boutique consulting firm. Go ahead and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. There's the QR code too, so if you want to scan that. And well, I think we're going to share our presentations later so they can go get the links and stuff too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So this infographic is actually from 2019 and from five years ago. But that was kind of like the peak of when Dreamforce was right before COVID. But they've basically been running Dreamforce since 2003. 2019, they had 170,000 registered attendees. Unfortunately, Dreamforce 2020 was canceled. And then 2021, they returned. Anyone attend the 2021 Dreamforce? Yeah, I think there's a few of us. So yeah, if you guys didn't know this, there was only less than 1,000 attendees, and there were more Salesforce employees and more support staff than the actual attendees. So it was very intimate gathering that they had there. And then Dreamforce 2024, they had about 45,000 attendees, so about a third of what they normally do. And then Dreamfest, it's not just a concert for us to get drunk at, right? They also do it for fundraising for UCSF, Benioff hospitals. They raised 7 million this year and then a total of $120 million so far. All right. And then, so I mentioned that a couple of the different sessions I went to. And one of the things that got me interested in doing the data cloud and also some of the business analysis ones is because 80% of a data cloud project should be spent on design and analysis, basically planning, with about only 20% of implementation. And usually it's kind of reversed, right? Usually you spend only 20% planning and then you just go ahead and do it. But because of that, because data cloud is so much more complex in terms of mapping the data, making sure you have all the processes in place, you should spend more time. And that's one reason why I went to some of the different business analysis sessions. And this one here was like kind of like a different one. It was more kind of a basic one. It was just like, can you add a field? But before you add a field, before you add an object, before you come up with a solution, you want to ask some questions. One of the things I like to do is, who's here heard of the Backstreet Boys? Right? So, so basically you want to basically invoke your inner Backstreet Boy. Tell me why you want a custom object. Tell me why. And then basically try to understand the requirements, right? So you want to kind of get to the heart of the matter. Don't just take it for face value that, oh, we want a custom field, we want a custom object. Well, why? And you might be able to come up with a better solution. So that was one of the nice things about this particular session. And then you can basically get you can get their presentation here. Vanessa Grant and Tom Bassett, they're great presenters.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Tell me why you told about a developer. So the client can say that because I want
It that way. But then there's ain't nothing but a heartache, right? If you do it wrong. So yeah, so it's that back and forth, right? So, all right. But yeah, Tom Bassett and Vanessa Grant. And Vanessa Grant, if you're interested in more business analysis, she does run the Trailblazer group. It's a virtual group. You can sign up. Again, we're going to share these presentations so you can get the links from here. And then for Data Cloud, so elements.cloud, I don't know if anyone's heard of them, but they're a Salesforce ISV. They put together a presentation on mastering Salesforce Data Cloud. And they actually even say it's closer to 90%, 10% planning. And what they did was they had a series of implementation strategies in terms of how to plan. They also have a guide. I'll put the links in there, obviously, but they basically go over some of the data flow diagrams, end-to-end relationship, ERD diagrams, and that type of thing. So that was kind of like an interesting series that they had for that. And then there's like, if you want to watch it, it's actually available on Salesforce Plus. Not all sessions were, but this was one of the sessions that was recorded. And then also they have the ebook for the data analysis and planning part. So it's about maybe 15, 16 pages, which was actually a pretty good resource, especially for a project manager like me. Doesn't get too in depth, but at least it gives you an idea of like what some questions to ask and what some requirements to look at. All right. So, so any questions about any of those two sessions that I had so far? Nothing. No. So the business analysis one is not available in Salesforce Plus, but they do list the guide or their presentation. And then for mastering Salesforce Data Cloud, that one is available on Salesforce Plus. It's about maybe a 40-minute presentation. But the nice thing with Salesforce Plus is you can watch it at double speed. So for 40 minutes presentation, 20 minutes, you're just kind of like, maybe, I don't know, maybe jogging or something, or, doing like some of the treadmill or whatever, or maybe dancing, who knows.
You can also do a playback. So if you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. You can, if you can do a playback. Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay. So if those who didn't hear about this, the AI Associate and AI Specialist Cert exams are now free until December 31st, 2025. So it gives you maybe about 15 months.
Not this year.
No, next year. Next year. Yeah. Yeah. So you got time to do that. So there's the AI Associate and AI Specialist. But the thing is, There are retake fees, right? So you can only take it once for free. And then if you don't pass, then it's a $50 retake fee for the AI associate, and then a $100 retake fee for the AI specialist. And then they do have like some of the cert preps that you can do. They are planning to do some live training. It's coming, they're creating these Salesforce AI centers. First ones are going to be in San Francisco and London, and then other cities, I think Chicago, and then I'm not sure where else they're going to be having these in-person trainings. So that's going to be kind of cool. And then for those, who's heard of Salesforce Ben? All right. So Christine Marshall, she actually writes, she works for Salesforce Ben. She's also a Salesforce MVP. She has a, let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. She has a practice exams, and she's running a 50%. It's normally, I think, $19 US. It's 50% off if you do launch 50 for now. So if you want it, I actually signed up for it because it was like $9.50 after the discount. So that's kind of cool that she's doing that. So it makes it easier to maybe pass the AI specialist.
Or you can wait for 3 days. The 3-day training, I'm surprised. Like I said, hey, what are you doing in the live training?
Yeah.
3-day training with San Francisco.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
Yeah,
they opened it up.
Free.
It's free.
yeah, it's free, but it's limited space.
The best part in San Francisco, if you people are here, and London, I believe, and
Right.
there's some virtual sessions too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would actually suggest, because even before giving the exam, because the retake fees are there, people should go actually study hard, number one, because it's very complicated stuff, and they ask you some kind of tricky stuff. And there's no rush, right? Hey, just take it easy, do some training, and then go for it, right? It means do the practical stuff first.
So it's 3 days.
All right,
Yeah.
it's gonna come out soon, so I
Yeah.
know exactly what it is. 3 days, and what are you gonna do in 3 days? But I'm sure it's rush.
Salesforce hour.
Yeah, police.
Or so, yeah, or maybe they'll play fine.
I don't know, but.
Yeah.
But I think it's very broad as well, right? So 3 days, I think, when they're planning it, it requires prompt builder, it requires.
Exactly.
pilots,
Yeah.
It requires a lot of things inside, so 3 days will be needed.
Yeah,
Right.
but like, remember we did the training for the
Yes.
prompt builder, that's only prompt builder
prompt-
only,
That
right?
was not 100%, we just covered quickly.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, it would be nice if you have people in the room, like you can discuss the use cases. And even if it's like not available, like you don't do live, even in virtual. It's still good, at least there's some virtual sessions like things. So
Right.
you have, actually, I did an AI specialist, very proud to let you know I failed, okay? But the thing.
Retake fee.
The thing is, the reason is like, a lot of stuff, terminology is there, if you do not know it, like, okay, hey, some places like we do it kind of thing, you need to know it, or what you're doing, right?
So what I've also heard is, if you know the concept, that is also not sufficient. You
Yes.
need to know where is what. So you need to know which setting is where. So it's kind of real admin.
So you have to really
practice.
Right.
hands
Without
on have that,
practicing,
yeah.
I have that hands-on, it's kind
Okay.
of difficult, so.
So, and then for those interested, sorry,
Right.
I am going to be doing a study group. So I'm going to try to take mine before the end of the year. So I'm
No, what I'm saying is, people should do anytime.
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, there's no rush to get a cert, we're just gonna have to pay
Yeah.
cert in the pocket. If you can learn the subject a little bit better, and if they're giving a training, it's better, rather than just trying to cram it and just give an exam and get a cert in your pocket and not know anything, right?
yeah. So, yeah, so, but yeah, so there's like a lot of resources that are available, right? So there's the trailhead, free training, the practice exams, and then if you're interested, I'm going to probably do a study group too. All right, any questions?
No?
I think Salesforce program trial hour for practice.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
You do? Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So the other thing I was going to talk about was the Trailblazer community. So besides just all the other, like the after hours and all the events that they have. So the Trailblazer community, there's a bunch of leaders. So like with Krish and Sheeba and Sunil and myself, there are some special events for community group leaders and for MVPs and that type of thing. So here's like a picture that we took at one of the events there. For those interested, there's the Bay Area community groups. There's a bunch of us that all throughout the Bay Area, ranging from the South Bay, North Bay, East Bay, and in San Francisco. If you're interested in starting a community group, either virtual or in person, Applications actually start this coming, I think Tuesday, October 1st. So you can go take a look at what the requirements are there. You can do virtual. They also have virtual ones, and then I've got the links for there. There's a bunch of events coming up. There's Trailblazer DX in spring. And then there's like a lot of community-led conferences. I know they have them in India also too. There's like about 50 of them. There's like Tahoe Dreaming, there's Philippine Dreaming. There's like Your Dreaming, I think it's in Netherlands or somewhere in Europe. But yeah, there's like all these community, and these aren't run by Salesforce, they're all community-led. And then for Dreamforce 2025, it's going to be in San Francisco again. Rumors are it's going to be in October of next year. So that's the latest I've heard from that. Anyone have any ideas or input on that? Okay. All right, I know we're getting close to my time being over, but yeah, so just wanted to showcase some photos from Dreamfest. So there's Salesforce Bend. They usually publish a guide for all the different parties and event guides, events that they have during Dreamforce and Dreamfest. And then also elements.cloud, they'll usually publish their own guide as well that lists everything out. I think just on one of the first nights, there was like maybe 24, 25 different events that we knew of. There's like always, there's private events, and you don't have to be a Dreamforce attendee with a badge, because sometimes you can just go in and register for those non-exclusive Dreamforce events too. So. And then there's like also the concerts, and then let's see if we can get them. And then there's, some of the after hours parties that they have as well. But yeah, and then we usually like to, there's a cigar bar shindig, which we kind of like is the unofficial end of Dreamforce, the last unofficial event.
Looks like real fun.
Oh yeah, lots of fun. So
I missed this part, so.
yeah. And then you definitely want to have some self-care, but I'm older now, but back when I was younger, I used to always say I can sleep when I'm dead type of thing. So yeah, you can just sleep afterwards. But anyways, that's it for me. Any questions or comments or anything?
Yeah, I guess like one tip that you've said, which is an important one, is you can go down and register for the parties, despite the fact you're not. Like if you're the Bay, just register for the parties. A lot of times, like I remember we went to a party, somebody else who didn't have a Dreamforce badge, they had registered before us. They got in and we couldn't get into the badge.
Yeah.
They went register for the party.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not funny, right? Okay, give them a badge, but thing is they don't care, like who registers, first come, first served, that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It was really good.
Nice one, Michael.
Awesome presentation by Michael. And next we have Ning. Take it over, Ning.
Hi, it's hard to follow Mike. I kind of don't want to present now, but I'll do my best. Here we go. See my screen? Can you hear me okay? Awesome, perfect. So hi, I'm Ningning Pariona. I go by Ning because one Ning is enough, as my husband says. I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem since 2007. So I started my journey as a user and then got the itch, became a sales admin, helping our sales reps build proposals, run reports, manage leads. And then I got the itch again and started my developer route. So I am a current Salesforce developer with Five9, so right here, Five9. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to. Here we go. So I was at Dreamforce. And if you see in this slide, you can see me right there in the keynote. So if you wanted to go to Salesforce Plus, go to the Sales Cloud keynote, Accelerate Growth Pipeline to Paycheck, and you'll find me. I don't know what minute that is, but there's me. We were at a Trailblazer brunch, and they had paraded us through, and I was part of the parade. So there I am with my Trailblazer hat with Zippy. And we walked in happily into the keynote and we learned about all the stuff regarding Copilot for sales. But actually what I'm actually here to talk about is Service Cloud updates with Agentforce. There's a lot of things going on with Agentforce, as you can see with this Q-tip on my head. Oh, you can't move the blur. All right, I can do that. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. Can you now? There you now you can see the WAF.
Agent.
The WAF. There you go. The agent WAF. The agent name. Oh, that's dangerous. Let's not go there. So what's really great with the Agentforce, and you can see it in this infographic, that Salesforce is still the platform, but you're adding all these different layers. And with Agentforce, it is not a replacement for your human agents. It's a partner for your human agents. What will happen with Service Cloud, what's really great, is you have the ability as a manager to see your dashboard, and on your dashboard, you can see where your field reps are on the field, and you can see the scheduling gaps. What your bot can do is say, you know, we've got these gaps. Let's see what we can do to fill it by looking at other opportunities for field agents to go to other places or trainings, and your bot can help you with that. So instead of your manager trying to figure out, how do I do this resource here? How do I do that resource there? That bot is there to help you. And the bot, the way that you train it, you have to go through topics, instructions, and actions. So I actually went to one of the appointments at Dreamforce, which was really cool. It was at the forest, and this is where all the hands, not all the hands-on, but most of the hands-ons are. And you got an appointment to build your agent using the prompt. So here is the ASA, the Agentforce Service Agent tech spec that we got from the appointment. And you had someone from Salesforce sit with you and guide you through, which was great. We had a microphone and I dictated to the bot what I was looking for. So for this example, my topic was reports. One of the most common requests that I get and my team gets is, hey, I need a report. I need a report for monthly recurring costs for XYZ SKU, month over month, year over year, quarter over quarter. And do we really want to have our agents searching for these reports because they've already been built? How do I find these? Well, that's where your bot comes in. So we gave a topic. So here's my topic. It's a report management topic. And the bot is smart, but it's not smart enough. It will not create the report, but it'll find, it'll mine your information on your org to find these reports. And you give it some instructions. Again, I used a microphone to just dictate what I was looking for, and the bot summarized it. And then it also gave me actions. These are templatized actions that are on the prompt builder where you can select the most common requests, and reporting was one of them. So once this was completed, we have some sample utterances. So if I take this and then I go to, my Agentforce prototype from the service agent. This was something that they allowed me to keep for a time being. This will expire, so I'm gonna play with it as much as I can until it expires. So your bot will come up and then you put in your name. If I can spell today. I know how to spell my name. It's just not right now. Okay. And I'll start my conversation. So while the bot is thinking, it'll give me a greeting. And so this is a prompt. So part of the prompt. So, hi, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Feel free to ask questions, blah, blah, blah. And since I've already asked this a number of times about reporting, it's already starting me. Do you need to report again? So I'll go ahead and say, can you help me find the sales report? And what it's doing is now it's thinking, it's going through my topic, it's going through my instructions. What is it doing? From this standpoint, from the customer side, you don't really see it. But if you logged in as a Salesforce user using the bot, you'll see, oh, it's thinking, it's coming up with this, it's doing this. And then voila, it's provided a report. Now it's a faux report. It doesn't have any access to my Salesforce, my production or UAT, whatever. This was just a Salesforce demo sign up. So if I click on this, it's not going to go anywhere because it's not real, but it did give me a link. And so I say, this one is, I found the one for last quarter. You can access it here. Do you need help with anything else? Like, sure. So can you give me month to month? So now it's thinking and it's searching within that org to provide that report. Oh, so it's asking me for more information. There you go. Sales report, please. Well, I want to, because if StarNet comes up, I don't want to die first. I want to ensure that there's some humanity there still. So I'm being nice, absolutely. There, found you month to month. No, that's all. Thanks.
Very polite.
Yeah, because you want to be careful. So, and then it provides you, you're welcome, have a great day, blah, blah, blah. And again, I just want to state that it is not a replacement for your human agents. It is a partner. So now you don't have a ticket going in saying, build me a report, find me this report. The bot does it. But it can't, sorry, let me take that back. It doesn't build reports. It's not smart enough yet. So if you want to build a report, say, can you build me a report on part number 777? Again, sorry, the bot is not smart enough yet to build that report. But what it does, it will create a request, case, whatever ticketing system that you're using, to build that report, to send the request to build that report. So now that our human agents are focused on more hands-on keyboard building versus let me find this, let me search, because it's going to take 20, 30 minutes to find a report. Why have my agents do that? I can have them more focused on more complex items. So that's up and coming with Agentforce. Another cool thing that I was experimenting is with this Revenue Cloud. Revenue Cloud is that CPQ quote price. Wait, cash. Thank you. So currently there is this CPQ in the system that was purchased by Salesforce with SteelBrick, and they had that merger, and it works, right? So Revenue Cloud is the next step. You can still have CPQ, it still lives in your system, but the great part is that you keep hearing this, it's headless. Now, it freaked me out when I heard headless. What that basically means is that you could still have what your current process is and have and pick and choose which part of Revenue Cloud that you can select. So for example, there's product cataloging. If you've got like 3 billion SKUs, how do you condense that? The cataloging in the Revenue Cloud can help you with that, because now you have this notion of a sales part, sales SKU, sales product, and a provisioning product. So you're not having to create duplicate products. You have one set of SKUs. Then you have your CPQ, which is the out-of-box Salesforce CPQ, which still is alive and well. But now you have this notion of a contract management tool. So now you can have your contracts embedded into Salesforce and have your legal team, your sales team negotiate all your contracts within one platform. And then your orders, how do you get those orders out? And then your billing aspect, how do you bill the customer, right? But what's really great is that it's all core. So it's all on the Salesforce platform, and you can make it your own. Whenever you get in an application, right? you're restricted with that application limits. With Revenue Cloud, since it's on core, you can add your custom objects if needed. Michael, sorry, I know. But you have that ability to be flexible, which is really great. And I can't wait to play with it some more. So that's me in a nutshell. And here are those links that I've shared. If you wanted to look at the Service Cloud and Agentforce references, I have them here, and also the Revenue Cloud one. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It was amazing.
Oh, shucks. Oh, and first time here. Hey.
How cool was that? Absolutely cool.
We're the Agentforce, right? Yeah,
Everything will be discussed already, so.
no.
Ningning even built her first agent right there. She's one of the pioneers. Awesome. Congratulations, Ningning.
And for people who have not built the agent, you can build in 20 minutes or so. It's a trailhead there.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
the dream that I.
Are you in the trailhead there? Okay, yes. I missed it over there, the long lineup over there. I said I do it at home, but if you did it there, you get a free t-shirt.
Did that too, yeah.
Renata got
Yeah.
a free t-shirt.
I built.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
there
that
she
was the
is.
agent.
Yes.
We have someone in room who got a free t-shirt for
Yeah.
doing what? For building an agent,
Yeah.
for building the agent right there. So,
Yes.
Agent.
Look at that. Yeah, so it's pretty.
Turn on your camera. So it's-
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So now I know what I missed.
Spotlight on Renata, who got her t-shirt as well.
So yeah,
Right
this
there.
was the t-shirt. And then on the sleeve, it says Agentforce on one side and Salesforce. on the other.
Nice.
So totally. And it
Our-
fits really well, it's soft.
Yeah.
Soft too, so it's good.
It's nice.
It's awesome. And so next up, we have Sunil,
Oh.
our glowing trailblazer.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Agentforce, right?
Yeah, over to
Uh,
him for his presentation.
You need to share the screen. I'll come to yours.
Just
We cannot hear you.
You guys can hear me all? Okay, good. I can't see other people's they can hear, right? I guess, like, can you thumbs up? Yeah, perfect, right, got it, yeah. Yeah, it's good, okay. No, I'm muted, but you can hear. Oh, yeah, on my computer, it's fine, I'm using other computer. Logistic issues, that's what happens, like you have the latest Agentforce, anything you have, still you need to deal with this thing, right?
The bot is not smart enough yet, you have to train it.
Yes, that's a human, always.
Yeah.
Till that time, it's still under control.
For now.
For now, right? So. All right, this is the architect session. The photograph that you see on the right is basically the last group discussion that we had. And Ningning, if you want to see the first three people right there on the tail, we are there. That's Sheeba, the reddish thing. We got the best seats in the house, kind of thing, right? No, this is from YouTube. We on Salesforce Plus. Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, so we got the actual pictures too. So, okay, all from YouTube, all there. So Ning was trying to show the arrow. I was trying to do that before, but I said, hey, I went to the YouTube sales architect session. There you are, kind of thing. All right. The key takeaway is basically is empowering the architects to build better, all the stuff. So basically kind of thing, also there was a kind of post, somebody posted out, is all the admins are trying to become an admins, like be part architects now. And I guess like, it is like more like common sense. Like when you're doing some stuff, when you're building some stuff, you need to think about what you want to go, right? Because like, hey, like what Michael was saying, his song, Tell Me Why, kind of thing. And the follow-up is like, I want it this way, but why you want it this way? Again, you can kind of question it, but at least whatever you want, you get to know what the architect wants, right? Kind of thing. And also what happens is, again, like what Ning was saying, agents, okay, fine, but you need to train them, right? So you have to responsibly use the AI and all the stuff, right? So basically, and the key thing also comes that the data security comes in. Krish can talk a little bit more about that. Basically, once you start taking the data in and out of Salesforce ecosystem, right? So basically, you can master data is kind of personal information is there. You got PCI compliance, you got a credit card data, other stuff data is there. So what you do is when you take the data out of Salesforce ecosystem, like out of Salesforce, they kind of temporarily put some kind of text, random text on it. So your name, like Lucy will put it on John Doe, and later on when it comes back in and rewrite it back. So you're not like losing the data, right, from that perspective. So that's the key thing, is a trust factor, right? I guess like a lot of people might not know, but thing is on a well-architected, right, that's another second picture. You see like Krish and Sheeba there on the left side. Anyway, so basically the three pillars, which are basically, when you look in architect solution, you think like cup of tea, right? It's trusted, easy, and adaptable, DEA, right, kind of thing. Always think about that. So when you're having a cup of tea, all right, okay, hey, first is the trust, second is easy, third is adaptable, right? And the trust is like, is secure, is it compliant, is reliable kind of stuff. Easy is, okay, hey, is automated, intentional, engaging, and all the stuff, right? We can talk a little bit more about it. So this is basically the trusted solution, right? So basically trusted solutions is what about the data security? Where's my data going, right? Even if you put all the people put data into Salesforce, right? Is my data secure? Will I lose my data, right? Kind of thing. Can I access the data later on? What's the availability of the data? Can I access it from a mobile, right? That's your trusted kind of area of it. A lot of stuff coming out kind of thing. So I will let people look at it, and a lot of stuff is GA coming in. Primarily, a lot of stuff is related to data masking. Gen AI is how you I was just talking about how you mask the data and bring the data back in. And is more as the capabilities increase with the AI stuff, it gets more and more kind of important, right? One of the, I guess, like I was discussing with Krish sometime back, and one thing when you look in the Salesforce team is, there are a lot of other CRMs out there in the market out there, but one of the things, the trust factor is a key thing. And how you connect the CRM to LLM, and how you bring, for example, like you're not going to take the customer data, okay, summarize the customer data, push it into OpenAI. You don't want to do that, right? So you want to do it in like a secure framework, right, kind of thing. So that's the key thing about the key messages for the trust side of things, right, when you're building some stuff, right? One of the coolest things, I will recommend everybody to watch the keynote of the architect stuff. They actually did the whole, like, like a whiteboard demos, like I talking about how to build it up, right? So you start with the CRM, like on the left side, and you see you have the trust factor, right? You have the owner level and the role level, security levels, right? You have record level access. Then you got org-wide defaults are there, FLS is there, all the stuff. So basically, you're looking at the trust level at the CRM level. That's what admins already know. Now, what happens is when you go down to the data cloud, something's missing, right? You can't have the owner level security stuff kind of thing. So you have all the data is coming in from different data lakes is coming in, the models are coming in, then you break data spaces. So it gets a little more and more complex. But rather than me trying to walk you through the whole thing up, but you can actually watch this 5-minute video. It is so informative, like you can fast forward the video, like you can watch it up and go through this section and walk you through how it is important, how it has been built up, right? And if you go down to the actual, I don't know, people have not aware, this architect.salesforce.com, it has got all the diagrams. It is the same diagram that I showed you before they actually did it, but this is how it looks like a dry diagram, but that looks very live diagram is very lively, right? But essentially the same thing, which I just showed you right now, right, kind of thing. The next thing comes out is easy part, right? Life is easy, right? Everyone likes easy stuff, but it's a flip side on that one too. it should be easy for us to do stuff, but how can I easily access the data, right? How the data integrity is happening. If somebody, I'm building a solution for somebody, is it helpful experience for them? How easily they can access the data, kind of stuff, right? And again, a lot of stuff coming in. If you see in the middle of the screen is Agentforce, GA, new coming in sometime soon. And Agent Builder is coming in back to back. And you will get a flavor of it once you start building your own agents, right? And all the stuff. So there's a lot of stuff, if you see, is
Hey
all.
guys, my name is Krish and I'm based in the SF Bay Area.
How did I come in? I don't know. Anyway. All right.
I think he just, was on mute.
Oh, that's fine. No worries. All right. So this is, again, if you see, there's a photograph at the back. There's where we're sitting right at the back, right? So we got a photograph with all the presenters, kind of thing, right? So anyway, so yes, again. So Ningning, I didn't have, I was going to do that. Originally, they said, hey, that's a better way to do it.
I know.
No, but it with all the presenters, right? So we had to have one, right? So this is the second section of the puzzle. We got the premium seats. Yes. That's also plus. It is funny. I was taking a picture. I saw myself on the camera there. I said, okay, that's interesting kind of thing. So this is the easy one. So bottom line is they're talking about the getting the unstructured data into this thing. So again, it's the same picture, but I can maybe, so you go down like maybe like how you do the prompting, right? Like what Ningning is talking, hey, people just see but what Ningning showed you was the end result, but how the thing really works, right? If you look at the data cloud side, if you go all the way to the bottom, there's a part like PDF. PDF is unstructured data. So how do you basically take the unstructured data and make it structured data? So you take the unstructured data in a PDF, put it into data lake. From there, you chunk the data. From you chunk the data, then you can actually break pieces of it. Then you can embed the data. And then you can actually vectorize it into the database, all the stuff, right? So that's the one piece of the puzzle, right? Then you say, okay, an agent, what Ningning just showed you, ask a query. Okay, I want to know about something, right? My sales report and all the stuff kind of thing, right? How does that thing work, right? And the customer data is in the CRM for you. So you have to see as an architect mindset, okay, all the things are connecting together. So when the customer asks a question, it basically makes a prompt template, like what you kind of set it up. From the prompt template, it's going to ask to retrieve the information. How are you going to retrieve the information? That's the retrieval. That goes down to the vector database that we set up because we have the data in the system, right? And then you can say, okay, the information is not right. Like Ningning showed you, she had to go back second time. Is an augmented prompt, right? It's going back second time around. And what happens is the LLM is giving you a generated response. That's your RAG, right? Basically, it's the retriever, it's augmented prompt, and your Gen AI kind of thing, giving you a result, right? That's a RAG. People talk about it a lot. So that's at a high level. But don't take my word for it. Go back and watch a 5-minute video. It'll give you like total clear understanding of this thing, right? And again, the same dry diagram. If you want to see on Salesforce architect stuff, this is what it looks like. But the advantage of this diagram, when you go down to architect, you can actually like, this is like an image I pasted. You can actually download it as a lucid chart and you can modify it yourself to your use case. So which is very useful if you're building a solution for somebody. This is architect.salesforce.com. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is they basically discuss 3 diagrams. So I'm just talking about 3 diagrams, but in case it's like people should not, like, I know you're already an architect, but a lot of people who want to know some stuff, right? Any kind of architectural stuff, even if you're not totally understand the whole thing up, I just walk you through a little bit about it. You can actually see what it is, right? Kind of thing. At least I understand few pieces of it. That's very, very important, right? Because the first layer is the agent layer. Second is the prompt builder layer. What's the CRM? I already know CRM. Oh, I don't know the data cloud, but what's it doing? So you have to know at a high level, what's it doing? You might not know how it is done. That's why you pull other people in like, oh, Ning, how do I do that data cloud stuff? Or ask Krish, or always, Michael is always there. All right. The last piece is adaptable. The adaptable piece comes as like, hey, kind of continuity planning. How can you scale it? How can you packaging it up kind of thing? And how can I make it for the people, right? So these are the things that's coming out. right? So it's the Flex prompt templates, GA coming in. These are all the new releases coming in. All no surprises here, all related to all data Gen AI stuff, right? And this is the third one, right? Again, kind of same kind of thing. And you see that's the third picture of the third presenter on the left side. Yeah, we're still there. We're kind of taking it straight to the end.
Yeah, Krish.
You know, Krish, I cut him out on this one. I cut Krish out on this one for a reason. I said, okay, he was sleeping on this one. Just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, so basically, this one is basically they're going to get the new thing that's coming in. They have got the data cloud sandboxes. So basically, the way, if people do not know the data cloud, you can actually have one data cloud sandbox and you can play around with it. You can turn the stuff on. And let us. So basically, once you set up your all data cloud instances, so I'm not going to walk you through this one, but you can certainly have a look at it. And I'm not dealing too much with data cloud yet, but people who are, there's a whole thing over here. But the basic thing is having a data cloud sandbox is one of the next coolest things out there, kind of thing. And I will share the presentation with you. I certainly recommend looking at the architect keynote, and you can like fast forward it up, like it's 40 minutes or so, but you can just see the 5 minute sections of the presentations, which are there, how the things are done. And always, that's the link over there you're talking about, is architect.salesforce.com. It has got all the industries. And there were 3 different diagrams for Dreamforce, which I actually added over here for you guys.
Thank you, Sunil. I think this architect Salesforce.com is really good because it
Yep.
has all in-depth object level.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And field level details as well, like how inside it is built.
Yeah.
Yeah, for even developers and architects.
Yeah, especially for people who are like even starting new kind of thing now, kind of thing, who know admin stuff. If you watch those 3 videos, like it's a wow, okay, now I get it. Like even like the way they explain it up, and like they kind of start from one thing to the other, because when you see a diagram in the end, you see the final product. But when you see how it's being constructed, you say, okay, what comes first, what comes second? I'm looking at security first thing. No. Security comes later on. First of all, you need to have a data. It's like it goes slowly, right? Step by step, right? Kind of thing. All right. So that concludes my presentation over here. And I think, yeah, yeah. All right. Cool. So one thing I did was, okay, I was so happy when I saw the photographs there. I was going to add some other photographs, but like Michael did, but I said, okay, hey, Salesforce Plus has it. Why not use it?
I think there was a question, Karan. I think that question.
Oh, you mentioned it. Akhilesh said I'm muted. No, that's fine.
No, it was muted on your.
Ah, that's fine. Okay. I'm using some of the computer. Okay.
Here's a question here.
What is this? Are agents an extension to Copilot? The agent and Copilot coexist. I guess like they have rebranded Einstein, going away to converting into agents now. So that's another thing about Salesforce. They keep on changing the names. So you have to keep up with the names. There was something on the Genie. I don't know where the Genie is now.
No,
But
Genie.
Genie is renamed.
That was Data Cloud, which was
Data Cloud.
CDP. before.
CDP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So like you have to, there should be another test on maybe Trailhead. Maybe they should Trailhead on that.
Thank you, Sunil, for an awesome presentation. Next up, we have Jess Kaur, who'll be representing the partner agent area. So.
Thank you so much, Sheeba, for introducing me. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead to introduce yourself and present.
Okay, so I think before that I have to wear this. I'll quickly do that. I was just waiting for my turn. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
How do I look?
It look good?
Okay,
Agent Jazz.
Agent Jazz, yes. So thanks again, Sheeba, Sunil, and Krish for having me. And my name is Jazz Kaur, and I am the CTO at Tech Focus. We are SI partner. We have been working in Salesforce ecosystem from last 12 years now. And yeah, when we started, it was mostly Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. But now look at this expansion, right? Every year, every moment, there is something new coming up. So Dreamforce 2024 was really exciting for all of us because the way things are coming up related to data and AI from Salesforce side and from other ecosystem as well truly inclines with what we are currently doing and providing solutions and accelerators and everything in the whole ecosystem. So other than that, we also had our presence in Dreamforce by having a booth, and it was a great opportunity for all of us to meet people, amazing people, like-minded people, our customers, our partners, and again, very, very talented people over Dreamforce. So that is why it was very special to me. I did not get much time to, have after party. That's why I was so excited to know about it, because I was completely handling all of the other things. But yeah, those things I missed, and it is a great opportunity here to know what was there which we couldn't attend. So thank you so much, everyone who already presented. Okay, let me go to the next slide. So pre-Dreamforce. So there was kind of 2 days where Partner Product Summit was there, and there was a lot of discussions happened. So first day, it was related to Agentforce. I think we have talked about Agentforce a lot, and Ning also showed us the demo and all. I don't want to speak a lot on that anyway, do not want to duplicate stuff, but Agentforce, like how it was the theme of the whole year. So one day was dedicated completely on Agentforce, where partners were getting an enablement session and what it is and how it's going to work and how we can all enable our customers and, provide better services. So second was related to the data cloud. And again, I last time I attended this partner product summit was during the time of TTX. And by the time, and if I see the differences, there are massive differences between just like 4 or 5 months. Now, one other thing which is very exciting is that data cloud is expanding like anything, right? Because previously, once a quarter, they used to release one, do major release, but now it's almost every month. Data Cloud is getting rewarded heavily. So quickly, I'll go through what all things were discussed during that Partner Product Summit, the Data Cloud related stuff. So if you see, I'll probably have another slide which will discuss more about Data Cloud overall architecture. Now, so many things have been enabled now, how Sunil was mentioning that unstructured data, that was something very, very latest. And that is something very new. I'm not sure if it is GA yet, but what I was hearing that there were 3 kinds of unstructured data objects they were pulling in, which is GA now, and another few objects are still in pipeline and which is going to be GA maybe end of this year or so. But this is again a very good initiative which have been taken by the Data Cloud product team to start working on these functionalities. The other functionality was, if you see here, let me go ahead and yeah, if you see here, it is a complete data cloud picture which says a zero copy data federation, right? Data. And now without actually getting the data, without actually getting the tables and schemas inside data cloud, you can just do zero copy. And if you see, I think a couple of months back, it was just Snowflake and Databricks with what they have started. Right now, if you see towards the left-hand side, it is Snowflake, Google Cloud, AWS, Databricks, Workday, IBM, Microsoft. All of these are enabled other than Workday and IBM, which is, I think, planned for GA maybe October or end of the quarter. So if you see zero copy data federation and zero copy data data sharing, data out. So all of these functionalities are pretty new. And for those who do not, those who are new to the Data Cloud ecosystem, so I'll quickly walk you through what Data Cloud does. So if you see data sources, there are, again, every moment they are increasing the connectors and the sources. Right now, they are supporting unstructured data. They are supporting API SDKs, mobile and web were supported from before. And connect at hyperscale, if you see 200 plus out of the box connectors. Yeah. So every time the list is increasing, which is amazing. So now you just have the connector, connect with it with the default connector and get the data in. So they're using this with MuleSoft Anypoint connector as well. Now you can bring your own lake, which is again amazing. You don't even have to copy. You just have to create a view and get things in. Data bundles, streaming. Data bundles was there from before. Streaming is something which has been, which is kind of new. A part of it was released before, but streaming of data and streaming of data transforms data ingestion. It is completely new, which is again very good functionality. And from our side, we have done a couple of POCs and it is working like a charm. So again, harmonize unified is pretty simple. Again, there are a lot of things being included. Data graphs is something which is new. If you want to do something related to couple of data model objects, if you have to integrate those, then you can use a data graph and streaming actually. So that is amazing. Act, analyze, and predict. So there were a lot of things actually new. First one was bring your own model with low-code AI builder. Now, I think not in this Dreamforce, but a couple of months back, this functionality was released. But this is again a very, very mind-blowing functionality where you can create your own model inside Data Cloud itself without actually getting it from outside. So initially it was you can get your model from outside as well, but now both the things are enabled and they are just amazing. It makes your work so simpler and easier. So these were a couple of things which were new. And again, the sandbox thing which Sunil mentioned, it is again a new function, new feature, which was needed from a long time back. And now it is already there. Other thing which was new related to Data Cloud was consumption wallet. So what do they call that as? Is it credit wallet or consumption wallet? Something like that they call, where you can actually see how much credits have been utilized. And it's again very amazing. It is already GA now. And there you can see that, okay, these are the number of 1 million of row ingestion you have done from this source. So you have already utilized like 5%, 7% of your credit. This is the consumption. So it gives you the whole graph end to end on how your system is working. So even Sandbox. So again, just to inform everybody, Sandbox is again based on credit consumption model. It is not free. If we think that, okay, Sandbox will be connected to the lower environment, that's fine. But the consumption model still remains the same, even with the Sandbox. So that's how it is. And just going back to my previous slide, this particularly program was amazing because there were so many partners and it was so exciting to see different partners having different use cases and different problems, different challenges. So that was a great session altogether. And future roadmap of Data Cloud, how it is going to look like, because everything is based on data now, right? If we have good data, agent can work properly and get things done in a better way, or you can do activations which are much better if you have the clear data. So the roadmap was there, credit consumption model, and all of the features which I have discussed. So it was really good. The other one was, I think, data graphs as well, which I have already discussed. This is a new functionality, and there were a lot of emphasizing on data graphs, how it is working. So if you want to, I'm not sure if I can really share that material here, otherwise I would have, but I think whatever is available in the Salesforce site, you can go ahead and see that functionalities and try out from yourself. Okay, so I think most of things were already discussed by all my previous speakers. And Agentforce, like how we all know, it was one of the main focus on Dreamforce, and it is going to collaborate with different hyperscalers, right? It's not going to be an individual entity or something like that. So it's going to be collaborating with different hyperscalers and working in collaborations. So other thing is AI and data cloud innovations. If you see 100+ industry-specific AI use cases were kind of demonstrated over Dreamforce. So it was, again, a very, very big thing. And the third point here, which is very important, is Salesforce Ventures. They have funded 500 million for AI innovation for all this AI agent and everything. So it is a good stuff for all the partners, those who are startups or still they are in the space for a pretty long time. They can they can work around AI space and, get help from Salesforce if needed. So.
Jas, I had a question.
Yeah.
So, what is Salesforce doing to get us started with Agentforce for works?
For the partners?
So if you're a partner and you want to get it enabled for a customer, how
There
would-
are a lot of links and even for Agentforce and certifications as well, right? There are cohorts going on. So I can provide you the link. I was even searching right now. I did not get it. I personally have registered myself as well, which is starting from October 1st. So there are a couple of cohorts happening for partners.
That's only for partners only.
Yeah,
but,
that's for partners only, for enabling them. And for Agentforce, though it is still not live, it is going to get live, I think October 25th or so.
Oh, yeah, in October.
Yeah. But still there are a lot of programs. I can get connected to people. So there are people like Arvind Ravan. Hi, Arvind. Sorry if you are going to get a lot of LinkedIn requests, but this is really important. So Arvind Raman is the director from Partner Success, and I can give you more contacts. So you can just let them know, they can add you in the list, and you'll get frequent emails. So they do all the success summits of partners.
And also like partner, they also have an Agentforce
Yes.
group there.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
for partners, apparently, but
Yeah. So what they do generally is, before releasing anything in the market, they train the partners and they want to know the queries from the partners, because the partners are working real time with the customers, right? If this is going to work or not. So even in the Data Cloud Summit we had, there were a lot of times the use cases were told by different partners. They were not, it was not that, okay, Data Cloud is all good. There were a few things which Data Cloud cannot do. So that things were also told, and it was great session. So these sessions keep on happening. So if somebody is interested, can ping me, I can help you. I also get notification at the very last moment, but if you're in touch with me, I can get you the pass, or there is one session happening at LA. I don't know, it is again, it's related to Data Cloud, but it is, again, we need to check with our data team, Data Cloud Partner Success.
I guess like what the Salesforce guys are doing is like, actually we were having lunch, me and Krish were having lunch, and the guy sitting next to us, he was the guy who was partner enabled success for the Agentforce. So that's nice.
What was his name? Do you remember? Christopher Lang?
Claudio or something.
Claudio.
Yeah. So anyway, so he was there. I said, "Oh, I need that group." I said, "Okay, good to know." I didn't know that it exists. So anyway, I joined the group. There, I actually picked up first agent. It's the trailhead basically. But what happens is, but the partners get paid slightly before the other people. But other than that, I guess that's why I asked you. It's a session, I think, in 3 days. So wow, this is good, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to create an app, the app exchange, does Salesforce give you any clues? What kind of apps would be desirable?
I mean, they can give you I don't think you'll get clear-cut idea on the roadmap and all, but
all this stuff is review.
Yeah.
So we actually took a session for ISV apps. They're releasing new things. It's still like a lot of stuff is very new.
yeah, but it's always good to talk to people, right? Those who are already building, and especially with Partner Success Manager team, they enable whatever they have, and it's a great content. They have something called as Quip, where they put all the content and links and all only for the partners. They have enablement decks. If you're going to any customer, you have to. What are you going to talk to any customer, right? From where to start actually? How do you talk to a customer that, okay, this is your problem statement, that's how, then you should use Data Cloud. So they have the whole thing, everything ready for the partners, the GTM material, the kind of basic from the scratch. There are a lot of material. So I can probably give you after the session the link.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some is like confidential under the partner agreement. So anyway, unfortunately,
I mean,
but the thing is, you still talk about it. I tell you, like, okay, for example, like the agent, I made the first agent in 20 minutes. I missed a t-shirt, just letting you know, but it was right there, right? Because a lot of people don't, like, there's so much information.
There is a lot
of information.
Yeah.
Right. The best part is, first thing is to come to the meeting rooms like this, have a discussion. When you get stuck up, right? Ask somebody, they'll point in the right direction.
And I think most of us are from the partner background, right? Or if there is any individual, or from the from end user customer as well. So for partners, they enable, there are good enablement sessions.
Yeah, that's true.
That shouldn't be a
But still,
problem.
there are ways around. Bottom line is like, when you need the information, you will get it, right? How to get it, like, okay, just come to someone.
Yeah, but you should know the proper team. If you are the right person, they'll give, otherwise they'll divert you to the other people, so.
The right people are here.
Yeah,
You've been there, I'm there, Sheeba's there.
we all are here
We
to
all are
guide
here.
whoever needs any help.
Thank you.
Okay, so interesting highlights. I think everybody already discussed that AI certification and training via Trailhead through 2025 is free. I personally wasn't aware that Second Chance will take, it's not free basically, it's a kind of retake. So thank you everyone for giving that.
That's why I caution you, okay, study before, like, some people might get an ego hurt, right? So I said, okay, hey, I don't want to pass the first time, right? So you don't want, okay. The $100 is also.
Yeah, money is money, right?
Money is money,
Yeah.
right?
Whether it's
But thing is-
$1 or more than money, I think it's about effort, right?
Yeah.
Sitting there for 1.5 hours or 1 hour or whatever it is, and patiently looking and
Yeah.
giving the exam. That is another kind of
Yeah,
pain
for
area.
me,
I mean, I
yeah.
would prefer to give it once and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
For me, retaking,
Yeah.
the effort is.
It's been painful to sit in the exam. Like, I'm not giving an example.
So it's better to study first and then go ahead and give it. Okay, so for that, as I mentioned, that those who are partners, they are the partner cohort sessions are starting from October 1st. I have also enrolled, and every month they have some cohort sessions, so which are again very good. You can go ahead. And okay, this is another one, which is Agentforce is expected to deploy up to 1 billion AI agents across industries by end of 2025. This was the prediction. So I hope it's gonna go through. And let me see if I have something else. Yeah, so looking ahead, opportunities for partners vast. So a lot of industry-specific AI solutions are increasing more, right? And there are around 15 industry-specific clouds in Salesforce itself. So if you have to go, you can start learning, start enablement first with within yourself and within your team, and then you can expand industry-based AI solutions and go ahead from there. And of course, customer success is very important for all of us. We just cannot think of a short-term goal. We have to start slow and think of a proper roadmap and go from there. Yeah. That's all from my side. Anybody has any question or any inputs?
That's fun.
Okay, moving
Absolutely awesome.
Fresh now. Before that, do we have any question from
anyone has questions?
or curious to know something which all of us can contribute?
Feel free to open your mic and
Yeah.
ask a question if you have something to ask.
It looks like Steve.
Yeah, just in general, there's a lot of discussion.
Steve,
Oh, we
I'm
can't-
seeing myself
Steve,
now.
can't hear you.
We can't
Can't
hear
hear
you.
me?
Mute.
Oh, that's strange.
Oh, turn on.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it says I'm getting through here. Okay, it's strange. I see it's working. So anyway, yeah, questions regarding data privacy. I know there's some little mention of compliance there, but with all this data integration, was there much discussion about data compliance and data privacy?
Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry. 1 second.
Not here.
Yeah, so regarding data privacy and compliance, whatever LLM they are working with right now, they have, or Salesforce has the contract that the data will not be stored or data will not be shared. The PII data will not be shared to them. So that is a kind of contract they have with all the LLMs which are inbuilt. And if you talk about compliance and security, they have a trust layer. I think we already discussed about it. The trust layer which checks in about the guardrails, about your things which are right or not right, everything, and then it takes a decision. So.
And did you see the tools that make it very easy to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. We cannot really hear you well, Stephen.
No, yeah, the follow-up on that, did you see any examples of how easy it is to take a customer and take them, provide data privacy, comply with GDPR, et cetera? Because it seems like it would be quite a process to get that working. I can't hear you now. At least I can't.
Yeah, sorry, we couldn't hear the first part of your question because unfortunately, because of the technical issues of the volume here.
Oh yeah, no, that's a problem. I'd be kind of curious to see how like you can take a customer and apply GDPR to them or get, have their data privatized, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, like I'm kind of curious of how on this new platform, you're going to comply with GDPR and all those other things. So yeah, I would love to look into that more because it seems just like with all that data integration, am I still not connecting or can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So
Okay.
regarding GDPR and HIPAA compliant, these the Agentforce and other platforms which are coming up, they are all compliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So compliance again is very important for Salesforce. They just cannot compromise on that part. That is the first thing they are looking out into, compliance guardrails. And even the Agentforce, whatever is going to get launched, inside Agentforce as well, they have set of different guardrails to set, right? So which will take care of all these privacy settings and security and safety.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
Thank you so much for the question.
Yeah,
Would like to
okay.
add.
No, yeah, basically the guardrails become very important. And I guess once you start doing more and more training on it, you'll get an understanding of that part. So when you talk about the HIPAA and other stuff, that's slightly more specific industrial stuff. And also that's another separate thing issue, right? But before that, right, that's why you need to go back and look at the architect stuff all the time. And that's where the trust layer comes in, right? And I was talking about like even if you see the 5-minute video in the architect stuff that explained to you is that you've got a personal information or you got PCI, that basically credit card information there. So how do you ask them kind of query LLM, right? You can't query LLM with the credit card information. So what they do is they put a fictitious ABC number out there and goes out, comes back and rewrites it back. So that's the whole thing that happens. Now, how it really happens in real life, we'll see the actual use cases. But overall, at a high level, you should understand, okay, hey, the Salesforce is kind of blocking and masking the data that goes outside the system, talking to LLM, and when the information comes in. At a high level, that's what it is, right? And HIPAA, I think something similar to the same concept, right, too.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, and like how you mentioned that studying about trust layer from there is a lot of resource, like there are Trailhead for trust layer and all. So go ahead and see what this trust layer is doing. It's a big trust layer and there are a lot of things involved in that. So that will really understanding that how it is actually working.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, so that should be good. Yeah, no, we can do it on here.
You don't want to do
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome, that's cool. I was just sorting out some things. I'll share my screen quickly. Yeah, let me just share my screen. So I'm doing the development Salesforce keynote recap. And can everyone hear me good? Okay, yeah, it should be fine. Awesome. So earlier, before Dreamforce, I was invited to preview some of the developer features that were covered in the keynote as well. And if you can see, this is me right here. And this is the person who built the developer Copilot in VS Code. So we got a preview there. So that was great. So I like to start these things with the problem. So there was 3 main problems that were covered in the keynote. First problem is like building apps is slow, endless deployments, clunky tools, constant context switching. So constant like context switching is like, say time away from my code editor. So I'm on my code editor and I switch back to the org and I switch back to my code editor. the more constant context switching, the more it's like decrease in productivity and things like that. So also very slow, a lot of deployments. So for example, and then this is like what you feel like right here. This is the image that I was saying. It's like, oh, it's very like maddening to do development sometimes. So the solution that Salesforce provided was so Salesforce DX with local development and then AI-powered assistance and performance analysis tools. So there's the local development for LWC. This was released before, but basically you don't have to deploy code to the org all the time. It allows you to just save the file, and then you're able to see the LWC in the org instantaneously. And that's in the developer keynote. Just, overview. So in Agentforce for developers, AI-powered assistance for code generation, explanation, and documentation. So that was covered in, that's what we were previewing. Essentially, there was a dev assistant in the VS Code editor where it could give you code generation, such as generating tests for you, explain code. So say if an admin is in your org, it would explain different Apex classes. And there's also documentation. So like it documents the code so that that process is abstracted.
Krish, would you say it provides description to the code, like by adding comments to it, or this is outside of comments?
So it would be a chatbot on the side. It's a chatbot on the side. So then when you explain, like, oh, explain this Apex class, it explains the Apex class, anything that's open in your code editor. It'll explain those Apex classes, just like ChatGPT, but it's in your VS Code editor. So that's why it reduces the constant. Can you close the tab? Anyway, so it reduces the constant context switching between the org and your code editor, because you're kind of having the source of truth, or it's just pulling all the information from the org in the code editor. Right. So you can get the org metadata and things like that as well. So this one was one of my favorite boots at Dreamforce, is Scale Center. So if you guys don't know about Scale Center, it's a feature you can enable in any org that is free. And it allows you to boost the performance. I think it's in Enterprise Edition and above, or maybe I forgot which edition is above, but it's free for a certain edition. Sorry, but that one is basically, it analyzes and optimizes code performance in production. It also analyzes asynchronous limits, a lot of things. And it also, there's Apex Guru, which is also underneath the suite of tools of Scale Center. And just identifying and addressing performance bottlenecks in not just code, but like just org usage. So for example, it would give you SOQL query improvement. Like it would recommend, some SOQL queries are less performant.
Right.
So they'll just give you a SOQL query improvement. They would just recommend it automatically. These are inbuilt, it's just a setting in your org. Internal. Salesforce is building these features out.
So will this be in Lobby yet? It'll be in
It's already there. It's in setup. You just search Scale Center and it shows up if you have the right license. I forgot which license it was, but in my org we have that license. So, okay, we're going to the second problem now. But basically this concept is it's reducing a lot of the pains that developers have. So that was the first problem. So the second problem is that apps are static. Users expect personalized, intelligent experience, but building AI is hard, right? So everyone is talking about AI, but as builders of these experiences for our end users, it's very hard to make sure it's trusted, having the data compliant. There's a lot of things that are also, like when you're building it, it's maybe not the most efficient way of building it, and evaluating if the AI is even useful is a complicated issue. So the solution that Salesforce provides is the trusted AI. I mean, it's basically the Salesforce AI CRM. It easily integrate generative AI, pre-built models, keep data secure. So they have the trust layer, which is covered before, where it allows, instead of having your data sent directly to ChatGPT, there's some steps in between, which allows data masking and other rules, which just keep it secure. And it's pretty cool. Like, it helps developers like me build things faster and secure, easier. So for example, this model builder, so connecting and managing various AI models, you can, as Jas said, you can have your own custom models, right? And then host it on there. So that these are all features that allow developers like us make it easier for us to build these AI applications. The trust layer, I actually came just, yeah, but basically enforcing compliances, for example, you could probably talk to your account executive or basically when you're provisioning an instance, if you are trying to enforce some compliance, you can talk to them and then they'll probably walk you through that.
And charge you.
Huh?
And charge you.
And charge you more, of course. Because it's harder to enforce the compliance, so they'll charge you more, but it's also good for the use case. But if you're trying to enforce a compliance like through an API call, it's like very hard to do it. Like you can't, it's like, what are you going to do? Talk to OpenAI directly and be like, please don't store this data. Anyway.
But the thing is, if you're in a job, you can also say, hey, I worked 2 days on this thing, but you can take 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah. Prompt Builder is creating and managing prompts for AI models. So that's also really useful. It reduces the repetitive. Can you also move the cursor up? It's like showing. Yeah, so it reduces the repetitive nature of creating a prompt, and then each end user has to keep on entering prompts that are, you know, it's a lot of repeating. So when you have a prompt builder, it's like one prompt template. And there's 3 different prompt templates, and just allows for the ease of your end users getting the value faster. So it's a really cool feature. And then the feedback mechanisms are really cool. So it's like in the Einstein trust layer, there's a portion where it has like an audit trail where you can see like how are your users responding and things like that. So, and you can also look at the data masking settings and other things like that, but it's very useful just to understand the evaluation of these AI tools. So this is more of an overview, but the fact that Salesforce all ships this in one product is very useful, because if you were trying to do it yourself, it would basically, you would have to have one evaluation tool, you have to buy that, you have to buy the credits, you have to buy make sure that the compliance is there and things like that. And you have to build also all this development time. And this is all saved and abstracted by Salesforce. So third problem I'm talking about is just data cloud. So data is trapped. The customer insights are scattered across systems, hindering an ununified view. So the solution is Salesforce Data Cloud, harmonize and activate all your data. And oh yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on Data Cloud because it was covered before. And but that's basically what Data Cloud's value proposition is. So that was like the recap of the developer keynote. That was just an overview, but you can go into the keynote to have more in-depth knowledge. So any questions? And then I have some roundtable questions as well.
Okay, you can, first of all, anybody has a question, let's start with that first, and we can pause that first.
The keynote is on Salesforce Plus.
Yeah, so it's on YouTube, yeah, or Salesforce Plus. You can just search up Salesforce Developer Keynote and it will show up.
Even the architect keynote was on YouTube. I didn't go to Salesforce Plus. I'm sure Salesforce Plus should also.
Anyone have?
So you can just mute it.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to open your mics and ask.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to open your mics and ask. Okay, let's go to the roundtable questions then. So AI code assistants, are these just cool features, or are they fundamentally changing Salesforce development? So does anyone have any thoughts about having this like feature enabled in the org? Do you think, or in VS Code, do you think that would save you time? I guess we have a sales developer here.
Yeah, I'm really bad because I missed the keynote.
Uh-huh.
Running all over the place, of course. And being dehydrated, couldn't attend, so. I'm looking
Okay,
to that.
yeah, well, like, I guess you haven't seen it yet, but yeah, maybe, yeah, I should show it later, but, I think we'll fundamentally approach how we do development of code, and it'll be easier to onboard people who are transitioning, like in your position from admin to development.
That's why I'm like, why I asked, is it writing in as comments or is it as a description? And then if it's the bot doing it, I can copy and paste that description in the comments, so.
Or you can also make comments too. You can do both, so it's.
If I compare my comments where I'm trying to build it out and then before launching it, I ask the bot, I'm like, okay, well, let's do what I want it to do, explain what this is doing.
Yeah.
And then if I miss something, or will it catch me missing a comma or a semicolon before I
Deploy.
try to save it?
I don't think so, but it's more of like.
It actually is quite amazing. I've been dabbling with it already and using it, and I think it's, you know, I can just tell from, like I said, I started in this in 1998. I remember the days when, you know, anytime you need to figure out something, you'd have to go down to the tech library, look up a book, or you go down to Barnes and Nobles and pick up a book, and you learn programming that way. So now, then I was like, I got jealous of all the younger generation being able to use Google and just, you know, search for code examples and copy and paste and tweak, right? And so the new tools today are essentially doing all that labor I used to have to do before. And it is incredible how it's kind of like a predictive assistant code. So like you'll start writing something, let's say you're creating a data table, right? And you can write the data variable, the constant data variable, and it will automatically generate like the JSON structure for your data table. So it just kind of like predictive code assist. So and it also will like scan your code and look for security vulnerabilities. It'll provide suggestions like maybe you should do it this way, you know? So it's just like a code assistance on steroids, like where before you would kind of have like access to the documentation in line. So like you could know which properties to set, etc. But it just kind of goes that next level. So it just kind of speeds up the development process. Now, you still need to know how to code because you need to make sure that the code that is generated is going to work for your use case or it's correct. And the problems I've seen with like, you know, using AI to generate code is that it can generate a bunch of code, but then if you go, I don't really like this part of it, it'll regenerate everything and it'll change quite a bit again. So there's still a lot of growth there. There's still a lot of improvements that need to be made, but in general, yeah, it's amazing advancement. What I've compared to even like I've been out of it for a little while, and I'm just like, wow, this is great, you know. Will it end developers? Right now, no, I don't think so. It's just another tool to make you more productive. So it's like you don't need to freak out like, oh my God, all this code's gonna. In fact, that's scary. And there's a lot of experts saying that if we start allowing AI just to build stuff and we don't understand it, we could start losing trust in it, right? So I think we're still far away from that. I think what may become more important in the future with this AI code generation is testing. So if we're going to have our developers use these tools a lot, we're going to need to make sure that we have very thorough test cases and user acceptance testing, et cetera, to make sure that this generated code is going to function the way we expect it to. So that's just kind of my opinion as a developer so far, working with this great new product. And it's under Einstein, by the way. It's just an Einstein extension you can download for VS Code. So it's already kind of available.
But yeah, it's like I think it's like originally called the Einstein Code Assistant or something, but then
I think that's what I'm using still. I mean, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Is there a new one? Or they're gonna call it something different?
I remember like when I was talking to them, they're like, "Oh, don't say the name Einstein." They're
You're
gonna...
right. No, it's called Agent Force now. I just happened to highlight it. It says Agent Force now, so I
It's
apologize.
Agent Force, right?
Yeah.
So in the same exam, AI specialist exam, it's also changing. So
Yeah, they look to change their branding from Community
that's
Cloud
why
to
I was
Experience
just
Cloud and
not say the name of the product.
Yeah.
So Salesforce is oh yeah, thanks for your thoughts, Stephen. All right, so Salesforce is evolving rapidly. What is one missing piece that would make your life even better? So like this is just a broad question for admins, developers, or anyone. Like,
I'm a masseuse.
what would you see? What would you like to see?
A masseuse.
A masseuse.
Yeah. Especially after typing all day long, just like, loosen up your
For your
So,
oh,
the agent was typing for you.
Yeah.
You're not
Oh,
typing
yeah.
anyhow.
That's true. We're talking.
Does anyone have any thoughts?
Akhilesh is there. He's been in since such a long time.
Akhilesh, do you have any dream?
I mean, how I see is that the ability of being able to do automations with the help of actions is going to be a new deal breaker. We used to have capabilities with the help of automations, but giving power to being able to produce agents and also having personas, like we have sales agents, sales coaches, which will be coming along. I'm sure it is going to make a great value to the enterprise clients. I'm still not sure on the cost factor, still exploring and evaluating the information, but looking forward to hearing more on those lines.
I love the personas, like thinking about personas, training the sales agents. I saw a demo for it and it was like really awesome. Like the Einstein would just join the Zoom call of a sales agent with a customer and then give you feedback essentially.
And secondly, being like data cloud, being able to access on your sandboxes is also one of the great announcements, which I really liked.
Awesome.
And
Thanks.
I think so, like Akhilesh, I think so. I saw it somewhere that they're going to give some of the agents are free. I think the sales coach is free. I guess that's so they want to get you into the system, suck you in, and there you go, right? But the sales coach is also interesting. If you see the demo of that, it's basically is Einstein coaching you. Hey, seeing the customer data, what question might be there. So you go keep on repeat, like the mock test.
It's like you're giving attributes to that agent, or I would say persona, that would come up with preset of capabilities, and then you train the model with the information, and then it gets better in terms of capabilities.
We'll see how it goes, but
I guess like that's also the same. Yeah, what are you hoping to see? And that's it. Yeah. So I think that's all the roundtable questions I have. But thank you, Akhilesh, for sharing. And
if anybody else wants to join, they can also comment too.
Yeah, if anyone has any thoughts on these three questions, like what would you like to see on the platform or the AI code assistants?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was it.
You can come back here to conclude it. Sorry.
Oh, we have got the musical chairs happening over here.
Right. So, yeah, that was it. So thanks everyone for joining us today, and thanks to our amazing presenters who did a great job. So I think we brought Dreamforce to you. Our attempt was to bring the voice, the sights of, and the, the key points of Dreamforce to you within this small, short 2 hours of time together. So hope you all enjoyed. So our time is now up, and we would love to have you again in our next meeting.
Yeah, just a quick tip for anybody. Anybody wants to save the chat, there are 3 dots over there. You can hit the save chat, and they can save the chat for you.
Yeah, and Stephen, hope to see you soon in person as well. Sorry we missed you this time, but hope to see you all next time. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.